What up, YouTube? So today is going to be part 2 of the Toyota MR2 SW20 build. And today we're going to be stripping down the K24. This is a JDM K24 engine. And this isn't the actual TSX one. I know that's mainly the one I usually use, but this is the actual Accord. So the number on this one is a RAA3. The good ones are the RBBs. Those are the TSX ones. Doesn't have the actual true VTEC. They still have VTEC, but I believe it's just on the intake side. So, which pretty much is just going from 12 valve to 16 valve. So, true VTEC actually opens both sides, intake and exhaust. So yeah, that's one reason why. These only push about 160 horsepower. So, it's good for boost. I wouldn't say it's going to be really fast. I do have one SW20 that I did build with, I think it was just with the 5-speed. It was decent. I'm pretty sure, like I said, if it's on boost, it'd be a lot better. But anyways, so what we got here also is the Cannibal kit from Hux Racing, which is pretty much to mount the stock. This is the turbo trans model. So this is the E153. And we'll be getting to this on the next video, actually installing that. But today I just wanted to get pretty much everything prepped on this motor right here. So what else we have is this is an RSX alternator that we're going to be using with water pump housing and tensioner. For the setup that we're using, this one, some people say they've probably used it before, but I just haven't actually measured the belt and everything. But for the setup that we're using for aftermarket, it's better to just go with the RSX. This stuff is pretty much useless. I'm not going to use any of it. So we're also not going to be using this mount. But anyways, this is the kit pretty much. Comes with the plate. And this is the flywheel. So I guess to offset the transmission. They give you the mount for that side for, I believe, passenger side. All the other mounts we'll be using factory from the actual MR2, so we won't have to worry about that. Another reason why people use this one is because the turbo axles are a little bit expensive. So I mean, I think they're like $1,000. So just to offset it, I guess. And I guess this transmission is actually stronger than the Hondas, especially if you're going turbo. So other than that, and they give you this for, I guess, for the rear bracket. This is to block the starter. We won't be using the Honda starter. We'll be using the actual MR2 starter. Other than that, we're going to be installing the engine harness as well. We're going with the 05, 06 since they're a little bit easier to find. 02, 04 is just getting a lot more expensive. And we're using K-tuner on this build as well. So right now, I'm going to go ahead and start breaking some of this stuff down so we can start installing some parts. I'll get to the flywheel real fast. So we got that off. Next thing we'll probably start doing is all this alternator stuff right here. I'm actually gonna start getting everything ready. So I'm gonna start taking off everything right here: the power steering pulley, alternator, the mount, and then we'll get to the intake manifold, come back, and then see what we're gonna do next. Alright, so we're back now, and I pretty much got everything taken off that it's not pretty much going to be needed for the motor. So we got the water pump housing, power steering, alternator, and starter. We also took off this thermostat housing because we're going to be using the K21, but we are going to keep this piping. We're not going to use the K20 piping. It's shorter. So next we got to do is get all this cleaned up as well. I went ahead and took off all the dead harness. That's pretty much just cut clips so we can put the new engine harness on. If you are not running like a K-tune or a Honda, you will need the VTEC pressure switch sensor, which goes right here. The Japanese models don't come with them. So just to let you guys know that. Also, if you guys want to know where I get my motors from, I didn't actually get this particular motor, but if you do need a K24 motor, hit up Redline. They're in Ontario, California. I believe they do ship as well. I used to go with California, but they've messed me up a couple times on some engines, so I don't really go there anymore or recommend them. Anyways, the next thing we're going to be doing is pretty much, like I said, getting that cleaned up. We're going to start the flywheel. The flywheel bolts, we're going to be using just stock Acura RSX. I recommend putting red Loctite on them and torquing them down to about 90 pounds of torque, pretty much as tight as you can. You don't want these coming apart. Like I said, with blue Loctite, I've seen them still become loose, so we're going to get that installed, get the clutch installed, and then we'll get all the water pump housing, the alternator, and then from there we'll go to the engine harness and pretty much wrap this video up, and then we'll get the intake manifold put back on and everything, and then like I said, we'll get to the next video, which will be, actually, we have to shave down. I don't know exactly where the part is, but I'll show you on the next video. We're going to have to shave down the block right here. And then on the back side, where the adapter for the half shaft, since we're going to be using the mr2 half shaft, we're going to have to shave the block down back there. But like I said, that's for the next video. Right now, I'm just getting everything prepped for the actual K24 right now. And just showing you guys how to pretty much get it done. I have a couple other videos of actually showing you guys how to do step by step. I'm just kind of going over quick on this one because I don't really have much video time. So I'm gonna go ahead and start knocking this out, and then we'll come back. Alright, so I got my flywheel and my clutch put on. Also wanted to show you guys that I took a stock K-series input shaft, or yeah, pretty much like the clutch alignment tool, and installed it into the mr2 one, so you get a better center alignment, because this is just going to float in there. It's a little harder to get in there, but just wanted to show you guys that in case you guys have trouble installing the transmission later on. I got my engine harness, injectors, coil packs, and everything. On K24s, you will have to either get the K20 crank sensor or repin this with the actual clip that already came on here, so you can do that if you want to do it on a budget. I got the passenger side mount on. That's all good and go, ready to go. Next, I was just cleaning up these surfaces. You want to make sure these surfaces are clean so you won't have any leaks. Yeah, it's pretty much ready to install that, and then we can get our intake manifold back on, install the sensors from the harness onto that, and then that'll pretty much be it for this video. And also got to install the alternator. Other than that, then the next video we'll start getting onto the actual plate and the adapter, so we can get the transmission onto here, and then after that we can finally install the motor into the actual car. So I'm gonna go ahead and knock these out, and then we'll come back. Alright, so we're back now. We got our water pump housing on, our alternator, and our intake manifold back installed. Finished installing the sensors, TPS, map sensor, idler control valve. I still gotta unravel all this. I'll probably do it when the actual swap is in the car. I gotta unravel this and then kind of stretch out the sensors for the coolant temp and everything, and this is for the reverse, and the other two is just charge harness, and this is the speed sensor, which I don't think we'll be leaving. I think we'll be deleting this and running the cable from the stock cluster. I think this car we're actually going to use the stock cluster, since we can use the actual speed, and then I think I just might have to throw aftermarket tack, or we'll see if the actual tack works on this cluster. Like I said, I never used the turbo model before, so we'll see what's up with that. Like I said, next video we'll be getting to the transmission side of everything and getting this motor shaved down for the slave cylinder and for the half shaft for the back. And then after that, hopefully we can get the motor installed into the car. If you haven't, like, share, subscribe, comment. Let me know what you guys think. I'll see you guys on the next video.